Hello, I'm Tom Fisher. I'm the town manager for the town of Frisco, recapping the council's meeting for May 27th. It was a fairly calm meeting, but some important things have gone on. In work session, we had 5 of our council members that were continuing a discussion that's been going on a long time in our community. We have some residents of one of our workforce or affordable neighborhoods that have requested some changes to our standard deed restriction, or for the council to consider writing a new deed restriction that could apply to a person's property, or they could volunteer to accept as they buy or sell property. And the litany of issues that come up when the council is discussing this are things around resale values, or how a value is calculated for a particular homeowner. How are buyers brought to a seller, whether that be that a seller can pick their own buyer that qualifies, or whether a lottery, for instance, is allowed, where people could apply to that lottery and be picked to buy that property. Other things that get discussed are how improvements are calculated into a homeowner's resale value, as well as a host of other things that deal with either enforcing our deed restrictions, or simply how they qualify and what assets they can have when they qualify. All of these things have to be discussed in order to really hone in on whether a new deed restriction is going to be offered out to the community. The council has had a lot of fits and starts on this discussion over the last 2 years, mainly around making sure that we have a non-conflicted quorum around that issue. And of course, that's very much a governance issue. And now that we've had a full council seated again for the town of Frisco, those conversations were able to pick up again. So that's what they did. After that, the council heard a short presentation from the Mountain Dreamers nonprofit in Summit County, along with some of the folks that participate in their programs. This group does a lot of work around immigrant services, immigrant information, and especially about legal help surrounding legal status in the United States. So this group is very important to the town of Frisco and to Summit County, and we appreciate that they were willing to come in and update us on some of their activities. As the council moved into their regular session, in order to conduct some of their regular business, probably the biggest issue that they spent the most time on is a code cleanup, where our code said that a drive-through restaurant could have 2 lanes to service that drive-through, but in our sign code only said that they could only have 1 menu board or menu sign. So those 2 things were in conflict. The council discussed how to resolve that conflict, and in the end they adopted on first reading the ordinance which allows 2 signboards to be located with 2 lanes in a drive-through. So they will consider that again at their next meeting on second reading. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, the council did a little cleanup on some loan documents and the development agreement for our workforce housing project at 602 Galena, which we are hoping that our community sees break ground on within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So as always, if you're wanting to participate with the council, there's a public comment period that you can either do live or virtually at 7 p.m. at their regular meetings on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month. You can write them at council@townoffrisco.com, or you can always find information about our council meetings and the business that they're conducting at frisco.gov.